Hello everyone, how are we? I hope you're all really good. I know I've been talking to a lot of you individually over the last week or so, and I know that you've all got really exciting but also really busy lives as well. So I totally get it, and I know that obviously things just, you think of something that you want to do within your business and it stays on that to-do list for longer than you would like, doesn't it? But this is something that's been on my to-do list for a little while that I wanted to just record because I know there's been a couple of people who have expressed an interest in building a website through Squarespace, or have done, or have started and maybe not completely finished it. So I wanted to just do a really kind of brief overview of how you actually go about it. Now, Squarespace for me, I absolutely love it. I just love how crisp and clean and professional it looks. It means that you can build on your own, a really, really quite expensive looking website. If you're going to be able to use really nice images and things like that, it can look as if you've had someone do it for you. So I really love it. Plus it's also really easy to update and, tweak and add things in and add a shop in if you want to, so you can grow with it, which is the main thing. So this is the main page for Squarespace. So where you would start is, if you don't already, you would want to be searching for a domain name. Now, obviously, you'll have maybe an idea yourself of what that domain's potentially going to be, but this will tell you exactly if it's available at the end of the day, which is obviously what we need to do. So let's start off with, we'll pick something random. Let's have a look. I've got cupcakes in the brain. So let's see if Betty's Cupcakes is available. So basically what this will then do is it will come up and it will tell you what is available. Now, bettyscupcakes.com is available, which is amazing. Obviously, .com is always preferable. Even over .co.uk if you wanted, and I would recommend it if you're thinking of scaling your business in any way, is to get the .com and the .co.uk just so that you have them, so that further down the line someone can't come and have the .co.uk or the .com, which would then confuse things. So but to get started, I would always stick with the .com. Now obviously if .com isn't available, then you can start to tweak about with the name, maybe add a little underscore, or just change it completely. But if you don't want to do that and the .com and the .co.uk isn't available, then .me is another one that's becoming quite popular. Obviously things like .properties and .bargains and all of that you would want to completely avoid. So something like that. So it's £16 for the year. So you would just go through and check that and pay for it. And that would be you registered within Squarespace, which would then allow you to then go ahead and build your site. So I'm going to log in. So obviously it's going to be my login details. It's actually one of my clients, but that's totally fine. So let's go on to this one. And I'll be able to show you how exactly you go about starting with so give your site a name. Let's stick with Betty's Cupcakes again. And then obviously a description, a short bio. Certain templates will have this on your website and some don't. So you would want to have, something that obviously describes what your business is. I'm just doing this for quickness, so obviously you would want to be more detailed with it. But once you get to this point, this is where you start to obviously design and build what you want. So if we go back into design, then this is where you can go in and change the templates, because there's a lot of really nice templates there. So let's have a wee look, install a new template. So this comes down to your own preference, but also what your business is doing. So it breaks it down here for the templates. So for instance, if I've got a food one, food and drink. So let's have a look at that for Betty's Cupcakes. So it's not that these are the only ones that you can have if you're in that category. However, it's obviously ones that do convert quite well and show off what your business is to its best, really, I guess. And these ones having really nice big images work really, really well. But it also gives you a little bit of a blurb just to see. So like with this one, you've got a 3D scrolling effects, which is quite obviously going to be quite stunning if you've got really amazing pictures of food, or it might be something similar. Let's scroll down. So this one's obviously that's all about the image. You can see there. Same with that one. Let's keep going down. So this one, maybe like turning your blog. So if you do any sort of blogging at the minute, you can have a really professional site that's kind of geared all about your blog rather than it just being on WordPress, for instance. Let's go down. So again, more 3D images. This one's really quite cool, isn't it? The Moto one. All of these are really nice for food, but as I say, you don't need to obviously stick with the ones that's within. There's wedding, let's have a wee look at that. You don't need to stick within them. So they're all really, really nice and really well put together, really professional looking, so, and there's loads to choose from. But what you can do with the little heart as you go through them all, so maybe you want to just go through all designs, go through and click the little heart from whatever ones that stand out to you the most, and then you'll be able to go back and have a look at what your favourites actually are. See your favourites here, so it'll collect them all there, because it will be a wee bit of a process of being able to narrow down exactly what it is that you're looking for. So same with this one's really nice. So this one obviously it's saying is popular with photographers and illustrators and things like that, because it's going to show off all of those images really well. Maybe like, you know, this one, it's more about, that's a sort of something that's more personal, so it's a perfect for your engagement. But any of these ones are really, really kind of fine. Again, make your blog soar, so these will be really nice for bloggers. There really is loads. I just love them all. Anytime I've went to build my own website, I seem to be here all day just navigating through all the different amazing templates. But let's just start off with one. Let's start off with this one, start with Foster. And we'll have a wee look at what that looks like. So scroll down. So what it will do is you can actually go through and change it, and it will tell you whichever template is live. So at the minute the old template is live. So if I go into here and preview this, then it will show up on the screen. This little arrow here will get rid of basically that panel at the side, and then obviously you can pull it back again if you're having to go back through and have a look at everything. So, but this is what the template looks like. So it's obviously got everything sort of laid out for you. You can see it's got a really lovely scroll to it. It's got all the buttons and things like that, and everything is there. Then you've got visitor shop, so it's got a shop integrated, and then so it's quite a simple one, but really, really kind of bold, obviously, with all the different images. So at this point, obviously, you want to go and make it yours. So let's click back to home a little second. So this is all your options here. So design, this is where you will find changing template. This is where you'll be able to upload your own logo. So if you've got your own logo designed, you can upload it here. Your favicon is basically a kind of smaller version of your logo. It has to be a certain size, which you can Google. So if you want to make that up, just Google favicon and you can create it from your logo or a different picture. You could have a social sharing logo, so that could be slightly different. Obviously that's optional, but that's where you would upload all of those things there. Also, this is the name of your business, so this is why it's coming up here. But also you might have a tagline for your business. So say for instance it could be, that could be my tagline. So if I pop that in there, then it might not necessarily come up here depending on the actual template, but it'll come up in other areas. So you can leave that out if you want, or you can add to it. So that's your logo and your title. So if we come back out of there, then let's come back out of there again. Then at this point, we want to obviously start looking at changing things, changing it to be, you know, obviously your website. So when you scroll down, you'll see here all of these pop up on any area that you're in basically here. So say for instance we're starting at the top, then we want to just be editing hero image. We want to edit this image because we don't want the juices, we want some cupcakes. Okay, that's just giving you a little rundown. So the good thing is when you do start, there are lots of really good tutorials and stuff like that on there, but this is where you add your blocks. So this starts to give you all the different options for what you would want to be putting in here. So obviously you've got a text, you've got the image, you might want to put a video in, you might want to break it up and space it a little bit, a button that's going to link to something, different image sort of selections. So you could have a stack that's, or the slideshow or a carousel that's going to, you know, cut through a few different images, or doing it that way up and down. Again, different sort of image options, form, sign up for a newsletter, You could have a map to show people where you are. As we move down, obviously these charts and things like that, it's unlikely you're going to want to have them on your website, but you may. Then obviously product, you can link a shop to this, so you can add in different products in different areas. And then also social blocks, which is what you would definitely want to be putting at the top so that people can find you. So you can add in a social block up here. So let's have a wee look at doing that. Okay, so that's created the page Our Roots. So once you've created the actual page, then it will allow you to change to whatever it may be. So the first one usually is the home section, or you could have About Us. And then obviously once you're in that page, when you're in this area, then this obviously needs to be geared around us. So you can click and change. So that you would click edit to change anything. It'll open it up like this. And it means then that you can go in and change the text and things like that by double clicking, get rid of all of that text and pop in exactly whatever it is that you want to put in there. So that's the only thing, the fact that the templates come with things already added in. So it is a case of just removing them and adding in exactly what you want to be there. But you'll see here anytime you're texting, this bar will come up, which will allow you to change things. So if you want it in the middle, obviously, if you're wanting to change it to a bigger header, if you want to make it bold, all of these kind of options are here. And then you would save. So obviously the template gave you those options, but you can at any point add something in. So let's go back and get the edit again. So this little plus sign here is where you can then start to add things in, because you've got your lovely image, which is fine. You're going to have all your text about us there. You've got a button there, which you can obviously remove if you don't want it, or you can edit it if you want to edit it. But you can also add things in, like I'd said before. So to add things in, you obviously want to kind of get to roughly where you want to add it into. So say for instance, underneath here, I wanted to add in another image. So I would go to the plus sign, I would click on image and hold it and then drag it down. And you see those little lines? That's basically showing you where it's going to drop it. So you hold the button in and then you just drag it exactly where you want it to go. So I'm going to drop it there. Now it opens up as quite a big image. Now that will change depending on the size of the image that you add. So let me just click into that and I will show you. I'll just upload any image that's there basically. Okay, so there's some nice images there. I'll use one of those. I'll use this one. So double click on the image that you want to add. It's going to upload it. Now, for me, that's still a really big image. It's far too big. It's going to completely obliterate the screen, isn't it? So at this point, if your image is still showing up too high, you want to go into Edit. And this will allow you here to resize the image. Now, this is huge. So somewhere in the region of, say, 750. Now, the good thing is just you can play about with this as many times as you want. Pop it in. And if that seems too small by the time you go back in to look at it, then obviously just go back in, maybe take it up to the 1,000 mark and see how it looks from there. So then click Apply and then click Save. And that should resize it to a slightly better size. You can obviously see it a lot clearer, and then at that point you want to just apply. So that is your image, and then save every time you're finished something. So it's just a process of building up the layers of how you want it to look. It's really, really simple. You can obviously stick to exactly what the template is giving you if you want to keep it super simple, but you can keep layering this page in any way that you want to make it, you know, more full of information. And then as you move on, so obviously, as I said, you're wanting to kind of change these. So this one, if it says demo, like I said before, it will make you actually create that page. So once you create the page, it will allow you to change it to whatever you want it to be. And again, I would just suggest getting the skeleton in place for this. Obviously, you wouldn't actually see shops underneath, so you wouldn't change that to shop. It would be let's have a look. I think it could be, you know, location, and it could be in there. You could pop in the map. So let's have a look, like I showed you a minute ago. So if we go in there, and in the plus sign, you've got menu there as well. You've got this is a scheduler. So if you're a coach in any way, you can pop in your scheduling calendar. So you can pop that in there. If you're affiliated to Amazon, you can pop in Amazon products, which is amazing. Obviously I said about the social blocks, all of that. So there's the map. So I would want to be dragging that in because I want people to know exactly where we are. So at this point, obviously I would be putting in, and then let's just say we're in Argyle Street, and that's good because it comes up for you and it gives you the postcode and everything. You can change the design if you want. You can do different options. That's something that you can play about with. I particularly think the grayscale looks really nice because it's quite modern looking, but that's totally a preference. And then apply, and then so that's there already, and then we're going to click to save. So you can see how it's just a process of just going in and changing it to exactly what you want it to be. So like this, now that I've changed this page to where we are, then I obviously don't want this image, so let's remove it. So it's just a case of clicking the little trash can, and that will remove it for you. And it means then that you can just start to build exactly the blocks that you want. So there you can see the little line that comes up. Do you want the text all the way across? Do you want it down there? Do you want it here? So I'll probably pop it here. And then this would start to be a little bit of information about where we are. Maybe information about parking, all of these things, anything like that you can basically put there. And then you can have a link to obviously your shop if you wish. And then save. And it's a case of going through that. So with this template, it's already got a shop in place. So if we double click it, it'll allow us to create the shop, and that's fine. Same with the shop gallery. If we double click that and create, it'll allow you to then go in and change things. So this is the shop that they've got set up, a very basic shop at this point, obviously, shop gallery. So you can obviously add in, this is where you then add in images of what you're selling, or a video if you have it. If we come back out again and go to just the shop, then again, this is exactly, so manage sections, but also edit. So the gallery, oh, sorry, that's the same one. And you can actually use these little bits at the top. So there's nothing really in there at the minute. They've got the little newsletters things there already. The reason that they've got these flagged is because you've just basically not, they're still demos. So let's go in and create those. You can add a page if you want. So obviously there's about us, location, shop. You can take some of these out, but you can also add in a page. And then obviously this is your footer navigation. So this is what's down at the bottom. So here, contact, frequently asked questions, and blog. So again, you can go in and change them to whatever you want them to be, add some more, take them away, all of those things. So let's go back out a wee second. Let's go back to the About Us. Okay, so it is a process of just going through page by page. What I would recommend you do is sketch out a bit of a sort of mind map of how you actually want your website to look, what different pages you want to have, what you're going to have within those pages. It'll just give you a little bit of a structure so that when you start, you kind of start, okay, let me start with the first page. What's the first page going to be? That's going to be the home page, obviously. What am I going to have in there? Then I'm going to have the About Us, etc., etc., and you get to just move forward. I would recommend concentrating on one page at a time and getting it completely, set the way you want it to be, or 90% set before you move on, because if you're jumping backwards and forwards, you're probably just going to confuse yourself. So commerce, this is where you can obviously track all the different things through your orders and things like that, which is cool. You can set up discounts if you want to do that. Again, it's the little plus button will allow you to add things. So you could be having a discount about New Year's sale. It could be a certain percentage off. It could be an amount. It could be free shipping. You can apply it to any order, or you can apply it to orders over, or just a single product, etc. So it's really cool that way. And then it will generate a code as well that you can give to your customers, and they must enter that at the checkout. So that area is really quite cool. Obviously that's inventory and all of that once you've got products in there. But at the minute we're concentrating just on the basics of actually getting a website set up. The shop stuff obviously again is another training in itself. So let me have a wee think. If we go back into the page, I'll just show you if there's anything else. So at any point, basically what you're doing on the page that you're on, make sure you're clicked on the page that you want to edit here. And then once you get to here, you can obviously open it up to see it, but keep it closed down like that so that you're able to then click edit. So that's when you get to edit the page. Then if you want to add something into the page, you always use the plus sign. You grab whatever it may be and then you drag it to the place that you basically want it to be. So you can drag it down, you can obviously pop it in the little bin there. So let's pop that in there. And that allows you to put in a really nice quote. So obviously you would type it here and then you would type whoever the quote was by here and apply. So there's lots of really lovely options to be able to build a really nice website, and really just kind of clean and crisp and really professional. And then at every point, once you've added something, make sure you're clicking save so that it is going to be staying there. So hopefully, and also if you have swapped about templates, make sure that you're clicking set as live. So you need to make sure that that's the case. Otherwise, you'll have built all of that and it won't be showing, because it will still be showing the old template that you had before. So this was the old one that you'd maybe chosen. You can go through and choose quite a few, but make sure you're clicking set as live to whichever one that you want basically to be live. So the good thing with Squarespace is it gives you 14 days free trial to be able to go in and have a good play about and just see what works or see if it's not working. And then at that point, then you sign up to either a monthly or an annual fee for Squarespace. Monthly, because I've got a business account, I think it's £21 a month, which is great, because you will always have to pay something, or you'd be paying a massive amount of money out for someone to actually build you a website. So £21 a month. You can get that cheaper, obviously, if you do the annual option. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head the business annual option is £180, but with that you get a free domain. So when we look back at the beginning, the domain was £16, so you would get that for free. So it will always work out cheaper, like most things, if you do it annually. So if you are a business and you're serious about your business, then I would probably recommend that you do it that way. And that's all just the other bits and bobs. So announcement bar, Squarespace badge, you can go in, and these are all a little bit more advanced. At the minute I would ignore all the advanced bits if you can, and just stick to building the basics. Analytics is then obviously, it tells you where your customers are coming from, where they live, their geography, blah, 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 all of those things. So the analytics is quite cool too. Settings, let's have a wee look what's in there again. So yeah, so you can go in here and you can set up your own email account through Gmail, which means that it would be linked to your domain. So it would be, for instance, hello@bettyscupcakes.com. Which is always really good. I think it looks really professional. I'm pretty sure it's £5 a month for that service, but again, it's definitely recommended. Again, you've got other things. You've got blogging, you've got marketing here, so you've got share buttons. You can link up your Facebook page here. Pin it buttons, so that would be integrating your website with your Pinterest. Share, because sometimes you want to be able to have that option for people to share your content. Let's have a wee look. Connected accounts would be where you go in and connect all your social media. So you would click connect, and then you would put in your password and your username, etc. Let's have a wee look. SEO, so you might want to start thinking about what would people search for in a search engine. So start to think about those keywords. What are people searching for that you would want your business to pop up in? So that's where you would put your SEO in there. Let's have a wee look. payments. You would be having to link up either your PayPal or Stripe in here so that your shop was, you know, linked and automatic, that people could go through and purchase. Obviously change your currency as well, because it would most likely be either the US dollar or it would be pounds. So you go in and change all your settings about payments there. Trying to see what else there might be. So shipping as well, that's all information about your actual shipping details. Notifications, if you wanted you know, notifications to be coming to you. So you just need to go through every individual part and change it for exactly what is suited to you, basically. Time zone, then you would obviously want to make sure that you're in the right time zone there. Should do it automatically, I think, through Squarespace, picking up your IP address, I would think. Business information, to put your business name in. If you've got an actual business address, I would avoid putting in your home address. I guess it would be difficult if you had a shop. You would need to provide something anyway. Contact email, your physical location again, your business hours you can go in and put. All of this information then will be popped into your site in some way, shape or form. So yeah, so hopefully that was a really good overview of everything for you. But as I said, I would take it one step at a time. Choose your template first and foremost. Go in and create a bit of a skeleton look. So what's all your tabs going to be? Where do you want people to go? What information do you want them to have in there? If you want to shop, if you want to add in a blog. So this is here, add page, where you can then, this will give you the different options for adding in pages. So obviously if it's a blog, then you would need to add in the blog option, and then you would name it. So Betty's blog, say. And that's where you then, this is exactly how you blog. So all you're doing is clicking the plus sign again. So this allows you to add a post. And this is where you, and it's in exactly the same way as you build the pages. So you obviously, your blog would have a title. You would put in all the information here, but this is how you then add in images, videos, etc., etc. All the stuff that I showed you before, you can add into your blog too. You add in tags for different things. You want to put it into categories. You want to maybe make sure that you're turning on the comments for your blog, because it's really good to have comments come in. Options is you want to add a thumbnail. So this is what basically on your site they'll see as a little snippet to your blog. So make sure you're adding in a nice image into there. Same with this, you want to add a little bit of information that they're going to get there. Business name, again, you want to make sure that it's showing up the right location. And then social, once you have linked the accounts, you can then click to share automatically your blog into your social accounts too. So that's basically how you do a blog, and it's really as simple as that. Let's go back. And as I said, at any point you can then go in and remove different areas, or this is how you then add in more information about the actual pages. So you can remove them. The little trash can obviously will remove it completely. And then secondary navigation, and then not linked, and then stuff at the bottom as well. So keep it simple in the first instance, get it looking decent, get it looking like an actual website, and then you can tinker with it. Then you can add in all the little bits and bobs of the extras that you maybe think is needed. So hopefully, as I said, that's really helped you with an overview on how to build a website on Squarespace. As I said, it's a really, really great option if you don't need to be really techie, I wouldn't say. I think it is quite straightforward. It's just getting the case of just really understanding how you actually add things and remove things and edit things. That's the basics of it, and once you've got that, then the rest will come, definitely. And Squarespace are actually really amazing at supporting you also. So if there's something that you're really stuck with, you can email them or get in touch and they'll help you with it. And then obviously I'm always here to help also, so any questions at all about it, then just give me a shout. So I really look forward to seeing all your different websites. I know there's really quite a few of you that are really interested in building them through Squarespace. So get stuck in and please share them in the group. Thanks, guys.